Welcome to a One Storyteller, where we bring you gripping tales that will leave you speechless. Today's story is one of arrogance, entitlement, and the shocking twist that no one saw coming. A woman, convinced of her superiority, lets her prejudice guide her actions, only to realize too late that she has just made the biggest mistake of her life. Stick around, because this story will have you on the edge of your seat. And trust me, you won't believe what happens next. The line at the high-end coffee shop stretched long, filled with the usual mix of businessmen, students, and exhausted mothers desperate for their caffeine fix. The scent of freshly ground beans wafted through the air, mixing with the low hum of conversation and the beeping of card readers. Amira Daniels, a well-respected judge, had just finished a long morning in court. She was known for her fair rulings, her sharp intellect, and, above all, her patience. But even patience had limits, and after a grueling case, all she wanted was a simple cup of coffee before heading back to chambers. Dressed in an elegant navy pantsuit, Amira stepped into the café and made her way toward the counter. She glanced at the digital menu before spotting an open space near the front where people were picking up their orders. She wasn't cutting in line, she had placed her order through the mobile app. Karen White, a middle-aged woman with meticulously styled blonde hair and an air of entitlement, had been standing in the line for nearly 10 minutes. She had been grumbling about how slow the service was, tapping her designer heels against the tiled floor impatiently. When she noticed Amira standing near the counter, seemingly ahead of her, something inside her snapped. "Oh no," Karen muttered under her breath. "Not today." Karen stormed forward, her designer purse swinging violently by her side. "Excuse me," she barked, her voice sharp enough to cut through the chatter. "You need to get to the back of the line like everyone else." Amira turned, her dark brown eyes calm, yet unwavering. "I ordered ahead on the app. I'm just picking up my drink." Karen's lips curled in disgust. "I don't care what you did. You can't just waltz in here like you own the place." A few people in the café turned their heads, sensing tension in the air. The barista, a young college student, hesitated mid-pour, unsure whether to intervene. Amira took a measured breath. "Ma'am, I have no intention of skipping the line. My order was placed before I arrived." Karen scoffed. "Oh, I see how it is," she sneered. "You people always think you can do whatever you want." A cold silence fell over the café. Amira's jaw tightened. "Excuse me?" she said, her voice dangerously even. Karen rolled her eyes. "You heard me. This isn't some free-for-all. People like you need to learn some manners." Amira squared her shoulders. "I suggest you lower your voice and reconsider your words." But Karen wasn't backing down. "Oh, I'll do you one better," she spat, reaching into her purse. Before anyone could react, Karen whipped out a canister of pepper spray and, without warning, sprayed it directly at Amira's face. A collective gasp swept through the café. Amira stumbled back, her hands flying to her burning eyes, as an unbearable stinging sensation spread across her face. Screams erupted. The barista dropped a cup, the ceramic shattering against the floor. A man in the back of the café grabbed his phone to call 911 during the killing of a man who had hit her in the back of the café. She grabbed his phone to call 911 during the killing of a man. Karen, triumphant, smirked. "That should teach you to stay in your place." A woman near the counter rushed forward with a bottle of water. "Oh my God, are you okay?" she asked, trying to help Amira. Amira gritted her teeth through the pain, her heart pounding in shock. But even in that moment of vulnerability, she remained composed. Karen, on the other hand, looked satisfied. She turned to a woman behind her and muttered, "Now maybe she'll think twice before trying to cheat the system." That's when the sirens blared outside. Two uniformed officers burst into the café, weapons lowered but ready for action. Karen folded her arms, looking smug. "Oh good, you're here," she said to the officers. "I was just attacked by—" Before she could finish her sentence, one of the officers turned to the barista. "Who called it in?" The young barista pointed at Amira, who was now dabbing her face with napkins. "She was the one assaulted." Karen's smile faded. "Wait, what?" One of the officers crouched beside Amira. "Ma'am, are you okay?" Amira, still in pain but regaining control, nodded. "I need something cold for my face, but I'll be fine." Karen snorted. "Oh, please." She was being aggressive. "I just defended myself." The second officer, a tall black woman with sharp, observant eyes, turned to Karen. "Ma'am, did you just pepper spray her over a coffee line dispute?" Karen straightened. "She was cutting." "That's not what the witnesses are saying," the officer countered. "Several people saw you spray her without provocation." Karen's face paled. "Wait a minute, I was defending myself." The first officer shook his head. "That's assault, ma'am. You're under arrest." Karen's jaw dropped. "What? No, she's the one who—" Then Amira stood up, wiping her face, her expression unreadable, and that's when Karen's stomach dropped. Chapter 5. The Truth Revealed. The officer helped Amira to her feet. "Would you like to press charges, Your Honor?" The entire café fell into stunned silence. Karen's breath hitched. "What?" The officer turned back to Karen. "You just pepper sprayed Judge Amira Daniels." Karen's blood drained from her face. Amira took a step forward. Even with red, irritated eyes, her presence commanded the room. "You have no idea how much trouble you're in," she said, her voice steady, cold. Karen stumbled back. No, this must be some mistake." The officer pulled out her cuffs. "Karen White, you are under arrest for assault." Karen shrieked, but no one came to her defense. As she was led out in handcuffs, Amira turned to the stunned crowd. "Racism, entitlement have consequences," she said, voice unwavering. And with that, the doors swung open, and Karen was escorted out, her once proud strut reduced to a defeated shuffle.